Hello, my name is Buwa Memeh. We're on another edition of CV Baskets Talk program. We are live at the workstation in Maryland, a place that houses young professionals and budding entrepreneurs. Have you ever worked in a work environment where yourself and your colleague perform almost the same function but end differently? Of course, it can be very, very annoying and frustrating. For some individuals, they walk up to their human resource manager and ask for a salary review. But on some instances, they are turned down and they are forced to look outside for other job opportunities. Today, we'll be discussing around this issue, and we have a very experienced human resource professional in our midst, the person of Vivian Adikankwu. Vivian, how are you doing? It's nice having you here with us on the CV Baskets Career Talk Show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Vivian, why should this happen in the first place? Why? Two individuals working in the same organization, they might even be in the same department, performing almost the same job function. In some cases, they are on the same level, but earning differently. Why? Why?
Basically, there are various factors that would have caused that. First, let's look at when each employee got into the organization. We have employee A and employee B. Employee A has been working in this organization in, let's say, the accounts department for 15 years, and employee B comes in 5 years. You don't expect them to earn the same pay, because over time, your performance review must have earned you certain promotions, certain salary increase. So you have to take that into consideration. Now, employee B that is coming in and saying that this person is performing this same role and I'm earning less. You don't have as much experience as that person. That is one scenario. Another scenario is also looking at when we talk about negotiations at the point of interview. You know, after going through the rigorous process of interview and we want to negotiate our pay, there's always pay bands. There's the minimum and the maximum. So for every role, as HR professionals, we already have pay bands. So we have a minimum and maximum. So it also depends on your bargaining power. If you bargain to earn higher because maybe you're coming from a multinational organization, you definitely earn more because you don't want to earn less. So you earn more than that person. And also someone that's coming from another organization, the same years of experience, but doesn't have that same experience, as in functionalities are a little bit different, would not earn as much as the person coming from a multinational. That is the second scenario. A third scenario is also certification. We should also look at it. Both of employees working in a particular environment, do they have the same certification? Did they graduate the same time? Did they become professional at the same time? So these things have to come into play when that happens. So as HR professionals, when we have such issues, it's our call to explain to the employees, these are the reasons why it's this way. This person has spent so many years, this person came in and negotiated a higher pay. But mind you, they're on the same level, but the pay band. So let's say I'm a manager. We have 5 managers, and there are pay bands for managers. 300 to 350,000 naira. Do you get? So manager 1, you're having somebody earning 300,000 naira, and you're having that same manager 1, another person earning 350. So you cannot go higher than that, except you have a very excellent performance, and there's a review of a performance, maybe year end or quarterly or half yearly. Then we now decide, okay, let's increase your salary or let's compensate you based on your excellent performance. That's what can be done.
Now, Vivian, what is the standard practice for an individual before you put out an advert for an individual? What is the standard practice? How do you grade the individual that it should be on this level or this level? What is the practice?
Okay, so first and foremost, what HR people do is to have job analysis. So there is a job vacancy. So we need to carry out a job analysis of that role. That helps you to know the placement, that's salary band. Another thing you also have to take into consideration, it's also the industry. So let's say those working in the banking industry. So we will have to take a survey of accountants across banks, GT Bank, First Bank, and so on and so forth. What are their pay bands? So it gives you an idea of what you want, and you also need to consider what can the organization afford. So you cannot say, I need somebody to come in and I'm bargaining something that is so high that will not be sustainable over the years. Yeah. So your first thing is your job analysis. So job analysis helps you determine the type of job the person will carry out, the qualifications that are needed, the years of experience needed, and also it will help you place the person in a particular grade or cadre alongside with your salary structure.
Now, let's go back to this. Two individuals are working in the same department. You know, I had this experience before. Both of them are working in the same department. Now, there's something you said about negotiation, which I actually fault. Now, both of them working in the same department, but because this person has an ability to negotiate better than the other employee, he earns higher. I fault this practice.
I mean, why? There are various factors. One, your bargaining power. One, two,
Sorry to cut you, Vivian. Now, should it be based on your bargaining power? Should it be based on a standard procedure? Okay, good. We're employing so and so person for this role, and every individual who is going to be within this category, this is how much they're going to earn, so that the other person doesn't feel cheated.
No, if those type of scenarios, what will happen is the salary difference are not usually much. That's why I mentioned earlier on you have pay bands, maximum and minimum. Sorry, minimum then maximum pay bands. Now, when you have that and somebody negotiates within that band, I would accept that candidate because I'm looking at what you bring into the table. You have two individuals working in the same organization, carrying out the same task. They can never have the same performance.
Good. Now,
one difference will always come to play.
Definitely. Now, you know, this scenario has played out, like I said, in my former organization. Now, two individuals doing the same job. I feel cheated. I feel dissatisfied because, first of all, you talked about certifications. Now, I look at the other individual and I realize the fact that, look, he's a BSc holder, I'm a BSc holder. He has these certifications, I also have these certifications. And we looking at the year of experience, of course, it might not be exactly the same thing, but it shouldn't justify him earning higher than myself. I feel in for him when he is on leave or when he's indisposed. So, why?
There should be also there should be benefit around filling in for someone when someone is on leave and all that. Now,
that's not my grouse.
I'm going somewhere. Both people have BSc. You have BSc. My question is, did you graduate the same time?
That's the factors you are looking at. I am talking about my output.
It comes into play. Look at job adverts we do have these days. It's telling you BSc, 5 years experience. Do you have 5 years experience? If I'm taking an individual from a multinational, that multinational organization has processes, they are well structured. And I'm taking an individual from one a
smaller firm.
What type of structure that is there? No, let's go back. Let's use a typical banking sector, financial sector. If you want an accountant, will you pay an accountant coming from a bank and an accountant coming from a microfinance bank, the same thing? They graduated the same time?
Yeah.
One, they have the same
almost years of experience.
You pay them the same pay.
I think it's very, very unfair. I think what we should look at is the output.
We are looking at the output. We cannot, as HR people, we cannot determine the output until your probationary period is over.
Good.
So at that point, you can say we should
review.
Exactly. That is why employees try and work harder to have exceptional performance during the probationary period, because there are some organizations after probational period, you get a salary increment, you get the benefits. So the probational period is a time for us to see your output, see your performance. That can also be an avenue to leverage on.
You see, I just feel largely that there should be a standard procedure.
You already have, but there's a standard.
That's where I look at it. Because the truth is, when you are dealing with employee dissatisfaction, it has a lot. It affects the employee's productivity. The truth is, he begins to look outside. There's nothing you tell that staff that is going to listen. For him, in fact, he can even tell you that I perform better than this individual. So why? For him, I perform better. We should earn the same thing. Even if as little as 1,000 naira, he feels cheated. Okay. We should earn the same thing.
Yeah. Now, what I'm looking at, are we looking at the take-home pay at the end of the day?
It's part of it. It's part of it.
Take-home pay. I mentioned from the beginning, pay bands. The difference between these two individuals would not be much in salary. Let's take, for instance, twins. There's always one that is better than the other. Am I wrong?
Vivian, you are the one saying it will not be much in salary.
It won't be
but
much.
It can be.
There's a pay band.
It can really hurt.
But except you're telling me that this person is occupying a managerial position. Do you understand? And I am not occupying a managerial position. Responsibilities are different.
True.
But if you say two managers on the same level, are they in the same department? Are they carrying out
the same?
They are different functions. If your scenario is people in the same department.
Yeah, we're talking about people in the same department.
Fine. People in the same department carrying out the same function.
Almost the same function.
If you're using the word almost. If you're using the word almost the same, that means there's something Mr. A is doing and Mr. B is not doing.
No, you know why? You know why I said almost the same function. We could also play the scenario of them performing the same function, because when Mr. A is in this post, Mr. B fills in for Mr. A comfortably. Does all the jobs.
When Mr. B is in this post, who fills up for Mr. B?
Yeah, Mr. A can fill up for Mr. B.
And
that's exactly why I am saying Mr. B should not earn higher than myself. I've gone further to probe the fact that we almost have the same level of experience. We have almost the same certification. He's a BSc holder. I'm a BSc holder. That's what I'm probing. Now, this is what I figure out. Do you know that some organizations, we talked about negotiation. Now, like I said earlier, my grouse is the fact that because I was unable to negotiate at the initial process, because of my inability to negotiate properly, the other man there, Mr. B, who negotiated well, and who I think his performance is not so spectacular, is earning ahead of myself.
Okay, so I'm going to cut you short there. So what I know and what is in practice is there is a vacancy.
Good.
And we're going to pay for this vacancy 1.2 million naira per annum. Now, if you're paying 1.2 million naira per annum, we still have our maximum to be 1.5. If, as a candidate, I negotiate and I negotiate less than 1.2, which I think is where you're coming from, it's wrong for HR to put you at 1 million. Because I negotiate at 1 million. And the advert is saying, or the advert may not be saying, but ideally I'm meant to earn 1.2.
Good.
So as HR, we should be able to place that individual where you are. The other person that negotiated better must have negotiated 1.3, and that's why I keep on saying the difference may not be much.
Now, you are speaking from the angle of an HR. Now, you know, employers also they think about costing. Now, for the individual who negotiated 1 million and there was actually, the package was actually meant to be 1.2 million. For the employer, he's happy about it.
Now, the downside of that is having disgruntled employees in your organization.
Good.
You're having disengaged and dissatisfied employees.
Good.
So that is why, as HR persons and HR professionals, we should always try to have laid down structures that we should, because you're already laying a bad precedent.
Yeah.
When you come in and I realize that this role entails me to earn 1.2 and I'm being paid 1 million. That is where the scenario of looking out will come in.
Yeah.
So you give me a task to do, I'm dragging on it. I'm no longer happy coming to work. That is not what we want to find in our organization.
Now, sorry to cut you. Now you resume as an HR person and you realize this is the scenario. A staff is feeling very dissatisfied and cheated. What do you do at that instant?
First and foremost, you lay out a strategy plan. Then take it up to, maybe the owner can be the CEO. Take it up to the CEO and explain to him. You need his buy-in on what you plan to do. So you're telling him, these are the problems, these are the solutions, and this is what we will achieve at the end of the day. The problems are, we have people in the organization that are earning different pay. Solution is, do a job analysis and try to place everybody properly. The outcome of that, you will have more productive staff in your organization. And you have happy staff in your organization.
Good.
So by the time you explain all this to him and get his buy-in, I will tell you at first it's not going to be easy.
True.
Because this is also going to hit your costs. There'll be definitely cost increase.
Definitely.
And it might also hit people's salary in a negative way, reduction of salary. So you need to get the buy-in of the CEO management first. When you do get that buy-in, you are good to go.
So at the end of at the end of the day, execution may not be as easy as you think, because you have succeeded in creating a bit of chaos for those people who you are going to reduce the salary.
No, that is why you have to try and be careful. You need to look at, no, you're reducing their salary, but it shouldn't be that much. So if at all we get to that,
just to create a balance.
Yes, if at all we get to that, it's either I say, you guys be here. What will happen is, in the next 2-3 years, you won't get a promotion. Do you get?
I understand.
Or I'm promoting you now, but no, in the next 2-3 years, you will go higher than this. So there's a way to win these things, and also have a conversation with the employees. You can call them to your office one-on-one. Tell them these are the plans. We have worked out this strategy. This is how it's going to affect you. So they would know. They won't feel cheated. It's betterment for them and also your organization.
Good.
Because as HR, you have to be on both parties.
Good. Now, let me ask you this. How do you handle a dissatisfied staff? A staff who is not, especially with regards to his pay. How do you handle that kind of staff?
You would have to have a conversation with the staff, know the reasons why they are dissatisfied. And they may not be earning much. It can also be tied to their performance. Yeah, a lot of people want to earn more, but don't give it their best. They need to understand that. We need you to work. You're working for the good of the organization, for our productivity. So what's your output? What's your input into the organization's success? So if they understand that it has to be tied to their productivity or their work ethics, then as HR, you can also organize trainings for them, send them for trainings, external trainings, in-house training, and also if they need coaching, mentoring, that could also help them around their work. Because when they are productive, others are getting promoted, they will also get promoted.
Definitely.
Then also it has to tie with your performance management policy. How have you designed your policy that they won't be biased either here nor there? It also comes into play here. With that, and the policies are not meant to be hidden. I hear people say HR people are fond of hiding policies. The policies need to be put out there for everybody to see and understand. Because if you understand the policy to a particular cause in the organization, you wouldn't feel biased, you won't feel hurt when anything comes out of it. You want to say, oh, this is what the policy says, we want to go by it. But it doesn't mean we cannot step back and bring out the human in times.
So, generally, what's your advice to employees who find themselves in that kind of situation? What's your advice to them?
If you are so dissatisfied, my candid advice is first speak with HR, try to get solutions to that problem. 2, if you have to take a walk, take a walk.
So you don't mind losing the best staff at that point in time?
No, mind losing the best staff. And that is why, if it's your best staff, try as much as possible to know the pains of the staff. Try to help them out. Because if he's your best staff, then why are you paying him less for more work? Do everything to make him stay. It's your asset. They are the one that build up the company. They are your brand.
Good.
Give it to them and they will always show you their best.
Thank you so much, Vivian, for coming on this show with us.
Thank you very much.
It was nice having you. Fellow professionals, you've heard from Vivian. We want to thank you for your time and thank you for listening to us. Please stay tuned to this station for further editions. Thank you.